Hi everybody, welcome to the latest edition of Running Shorts with a very summery special guest. In fact, actually, all seasons. Hats. Vaga, Voga. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves and then can you please tell us what the correct pronunciation is of Vaga, Voga, Vaga?
I'll start. I'm John.
Hi John.
Hi, thanks for having us today.
Pleasure.
I guess you could call me the original founder of the company. So I started it with my wife back in 2020. And yes, so I'm the founder, the owner of the company, and I'm responsible for this
Madness.
Operation.
Obviously, there's a large team now, but yeah, back in the day when it was just myself and my wife, it was happy memories. Yeah, so that's how it all started.
Cool. And I'm Morgan, I'm head of brand development, so I've been brought on board by John and the team to sort of keep the good work of the brand going and kind of make our image even better, kind of push forward with products, tell the story of Vaga.
And that's why you're here today.
And that's why we're here
we
today.
Had this conversation a while back.
Yeah, we're here today.
Oh, we'd love to do that. When can we come in? And
Absolutely.
And here we are.
And of course, Vaga.
Is it Vaga?
Pronounced Vaga.
Vaga. Right,
Yeah.
everybody, it's Vaga.
It's Vaga. Okay, so it's a Scandinavian word to mean to dare, to venture, or to risk. Pronounced Voga in Scandinavia, but we prefer Vaga across sort of the UK, across Europe. Not Vaga or Vega. A bit aggressive sounding, so we prefer Vaga. What do you think, John? Yeah?
And I don't mind Vega.
You don't mind Vega. It's got a lovely American twang to it.
I like Darth Vaga. I think there's a certain ring to it, you know, and I think we need a special mask with the face.
It works.
Star Wars fans would go
We'll let the design
crazy.
team. We'll let the
Well,
design
let's call
team.
it
You know?
design to consider that for you.
Yeah, it's the
Very
good
on brand.
And if you could do the thing for the that would be amazing.
Well, we're going to help runners breathe better. I mean, it's
Well,
all part of product innovation, so we'll see what the guys in the design team
I've
can do.
actually met Darth Vader because he was the Green Cross code man and he came into school when I was a lad. So there you go.
Wow.
Not how I expected
And he was
first,
doing Green Cross code stuff.
question to go in a running shop, but
No.
So there you go.
cool.
There we
I
go.
really can't remember it though. Not properly. It just happened. So there you go. Alright, so you started at home, I take it.
Yeah, so I was teaching at the time. I was been a teacher for 13 years. I'm from Cumbria, which is where the brand is from, but I was living in Shropshire at the time, teaching. I was director of sport at a prep school, and I'd done a couple of 50Ks the 2 previous summers. So I'd done Maribel 50K, Morzine 50K, and I'd kind of got into like accessorizing with like cool socks, cool cap, you know, thinking I was pretty cool.
Were you pretty cool?
Well, my wife would say probably not, but yeah, I really got the bug. I was running to work every day, and I thought, right. So I'd done those 2 ultras, and I thought there was a bit of a gap in the market for headwear because I was kind of wearing the same duckbill, breathable, short peak hat that you might be aware of. But I found that there wasn't really a UK brand doing anything at the time. So I said to my wife, back-to-back summers, I was like, I really want to make my own cap. And of course she said, you're a teacher, it's reliable, let's just see how we go. And then I got furloughed with COVID, so I had 2 months at home. When I had the time, thankfully, to get some samples made. So I got a load of samples made, put the colours together on the dining room table, that kind of job. And when I was happy with the samples, I had 300 caps made in 6 different colourways. And so we built an Instagram and a website, just the 2 of us, kind of flying the plane as we were building it type job. And yeah, we were just really surprised by the interest, and I think it was kind of good timing in a way because COVID meant that people could exercise, but they were kind of stuck at home, weren't they?
Yeah.
And so it was a bit of go for a run for your hour and then online shop pretty much. So it was almost like a perfect storm for us. So yeah, it kicked off like that, and then we launched the website, and I didn't think it would come to anything. And I remember the first hour we did £1,000 in sales, and we were kind of like, whoa, that kind of took us back. So immediately had to order more caps, and it became a bigger and bigger business. And then I went back to teaching, so I was doing it side by side. So I would pack up caps in the evening, my wife would deliver them the next day type job. And then I brought on Ellis Bland, who was a good local runner that I'd seen. I'd seen him at various races and thought he
Is it Ellis who everybody talks about his legs? Yeah,
he's got pretty good calves,
pretty big legs.
Yeah, pretty chunky legs. And I'd seen him at a few events, and I thought he's the kind of person that I'd like to wear
leg man.
my caps, and I like looking at his legs. So I contacted him and said, would you mind doing a few photo shoots just to jazz up the Instagram? And he was like, absolutely, local brand, would love to support. So he came out, did a few shoots, increased the photography, and then he kind of showed an interest of coming on board, and that's how Ellis came on board, and he's now a director. And similarly, as we needed more designs, I felt like I needed a designer. So I contacted an old friend I used to teach with, whose brother worked at high fashion brands in Italy, pretty decent jobs over there. And he was working freelance, and he said, I'm available, but I'm quite expensive. How expensive? Okay, too expensive. So he came on board as another director, so there's three of us. Myself, Ellis and Paul, and that's how the company kind of grew with the three of us for the first 3 years. Paul designs 4 seasons, Ellis sells, and I kind of the rest, put my feet up and drink coffee and do invoices and
I can really
bit of
believe
everything.
you doing that. Yeah,
bit of everything.
I bet you. I bet if there's an office now that you're actually you're also hoovering the floor.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
So that's how the first 3 years went, and thankfully we turned it into a pretty decent business, and we're now sold in however many countries, probably in up to 200 shops worldwide. Quite big.
37 countries, isn't it?
37 countries worldwide.
Distributors in Scandinavia, Spain, lots of parts of Asia. So I mean, the first shop I walked into was a Cumbria-based shop, which I won't name the name, but
please don't.
I was quite nervous of walking in with these 6 caps, thinking, how am I going to sell these? I've never done this before. And I tried to say that they were lightweight and breathable and colourful and a fair price point and all of this, and they said, okay, we'll take them and we'll see how they go. I said, just take the first 6 and see how they sell. So we were in a town where I had a friend, so I called up my friend and said,
this favour.
I don't suppose you're available.
That's cheating.
I don't suppose you're available to head into this shop and buy a cap and show lots of interest, are you? So he did. So I gave him my card and he went in and bought one. Bit cheeky, bit naughty, but it's just kind of one of the examples of
Got to get your foot
a start-up brand trying to get going, and thankfully that store is still with us and one of our biggest orders of caps, so it was worth it. Yeah, so
well, sometimes you got to do what you need to do.
That's the initiative you need to get it off the ground.
So I've spoken enough, and then we brought Morgan on almost a year ago, and he's been great. So we were struggling a bit with not struggling, but we needed support in making the website better, the Instagram, the adverts, Google, Facebook adverts. Morgan's a keen photographer, which is great.
His photography is very good.
His nickname is the Tinkerman. You can kind of give him any project, and
Tinkerman.
he'll go to the National Running Show or London, and he'll speak to camera and interview people hopefully at Kendall and stuff like that. So a real all-rounder, and we're lucky to have him, which is good. So that's the team now. We've got another full-time designer, so there's 2 full-time on the design team.
You think that sounds a lot, doesn't it, just for hats and caps?
I know.
It sounds a lot.
But it's been such a meteoric rise from when...
Yeah.
Well, John it's quite humble beginnings from what John says, but kind of since John founded it out of his house in Shropshire, it immediately took off, and it's kind of shown no signs of slowing down. So as the teams kind of evolve, we keep bringing new people on, don't we? Because you get to a point in the company's evolution where you're fighting fires almost, aren't you? Because there's only so many hands we've all got.
Yeah.
None of us are octopus, so we're kind of sort of having to reach into loads of different areas. So it's like, all right, okay, we need a person for that, we need a person for that, we need a person for that, and before you know it, the team's really started to grow and evolve, and we'll be looking at next steps. Even since I've come on.
So basically, what we've got here is a success story of a British company, a UK-based company that is in numerous companies, has a distribution network, and it's all run from the UK.
And it all started with
Absolutely,
a
yeah.
friend buying a cap in a shop.
Absolutely, and we love working with independent stores, independent businesses.
That's something that comes
Yeah.
across
We're
very,
really-
very clear.
We're passionate about that because that's, you know, in the beginning, who puts their faith in a small upstarting brand? It's the local independents, isn't it? And without the independents putting faith in you in the beginning, you are nothing. You'll never get off the ground. So as we get bigger and we evolve, we never want to forget our roots, and we never want to forget the local experts in areas all around the country. So we're really passionate about getting the brand into all of these local independents around the UK, where we can kind of say, look, Accelerate in Sheffield, you know your market, you've got lots of people within your local community, runners that you know, that respect you, that know how much knowledge you have, and if we can get our products in your shop, we can sort of piggyback the trust people have in you. So that's something we've been passionate about since the beginning. We're not planning on deviating from that anytime soon, are we? I mean,
No.
we love that local knowledge aspect and sort of like appealing to lots of different local communities, so we can be like a good part of each community around the UK.
Yeah, that's just kind of silly important. It really is. And
Absolutely.
we lose. I know I've spoken to Alice at great lengths about this, and we had a really good conversation, which these guys have published on the website, and if you haven't seen it, it's us guys being interviewed by Ellis and yourself, Morgan, and it went to print, and it was very, very much, we were looking at where we saw the UK independent market, and to be honest with you, a lot of the challenges that we face, and it's always interesting when we talk to, I'm not going to say smaller brands, I'm going to say niche brands.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because I think it's a step change difference, because you're not just producing something that, say, looks, hey, don't we look great in our hats? You know, it's not just something that's being made to, if you like, make us more pretty, more handsome, whatever you want to. Yeah. It's the fact that there's a niche brand, you're looking at the materials you use, how it's made, and how that evolves to how can we improve the material. Environmental, where it's made, environmental, supply chain, environmental. Niche brands do that, and you can see that evolution and that change. Niche brands also respect the independent market for the reasons you've said, but also because we have a level of expertise, and I don't mean just as hobbyists.
No, as professionals within the industry.
Yes,
but you can tell our story and our products.
It's a level of knowledge and experience, not from a few park runs, it's wider than that.
You know, you've been there, you've done that.
Yeah.
Big races all around the world.
Yes, so somebody within that business has.
Yeah. I mean, we're a niche company. We were small in the beginning. I don't think we're small anymore. I certainly don't think we...
You'd probably still be classed as an SME, but you're actually, in terms of our market, growing rapidly.
We're doubling each year.
Absolutely.
And within your sector, you've got to be knocking on the door of being probably one of the few pure headwear manufacturers that's making waves now.
I'd say so in the UK.
Yeah, I think we're one of the biggest in the UK,
and
for
it's
sure.
the fact
I mean,
that the UK.
And you touched on it perfectly, but we are a niche brand. At the minute, we just make hats, but because we just make hats, we make bloody good hats.
Yes. Well, you can see that, and people won't understand. And it's when we try to have the conversation about, you know, these guys will tell you we get new clothes or we get shown clothes. First thing I do is, right, what's the stitch count?
Yeah.
What's the fabric?
Yeah.
How's it been put together? And it's like, even on the sweatband on the inside of this, I haven't got my glasses on, but that's double stitched. A cheaper cap would be a single stitch. You know, you turn over where it's joined.
Yeah, I mean, the
actually,
design
it's not just a flip over. That's again stitched through.
Yeah.
And that's got a high stitch.
Well, we know the design team are absolutely meticulous with that kind of thing. But I mean, when we get samples in the office, we are the first to sort of comment on things and make sure the quality's right up there.
Yeah, and the seamage. They're actually covered over, so it's not flappy and irritating. And it's crazy stuff that people go, oh.
You don't even realise it when it's on your head, but if you have a bad example, you know that it's annoying you.
It's like people come in and go, I've got a technical t-shirt, and they go, it's a race t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's not technical, that's just polyester.
Yeah, that's just polyester.
Then they take a technical t-shirt and
and then you realise the difference. It's like, what?
that is like night and day.
Yeah.
It's a performance product.
And that's going to
absolutely.
last.
Yeah.
It's not something you're buying.
Oh, it's not going to fall to
It's
pieces.
not, in a year's time, you're still going to be wearing it.
For sure.
Ellis always talks well about first place, last place. Everyone wears our caps, and you know there's a reason why Elsie Davey wore. She wears
Well,
our
they're
visors,
comfy.
and she raced at UTMB in one of our visors, and that's world class running. You know, and so
And that's the filter down, if you want to put it that way, to if it's good enough for the pro, then it's good enough for me.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it doesn't make it necessarily something that's out of my price point. It's something that's still,
and it's,
to be perfectly honest with you, you know, £20-30 for a piece of headgear these days is pretty reasonable.
when you see what goes into it behind the scenes, you realise why it's kind of the price it is, because it's such a long process of developing an idea, developing the samples, going back to the factory and saying, okay, we want to make this different, this different, this different, and then things like the double stitch, you know, you touch on that, and it's like they're the things we pick up on when we get the samples
and
and
to cover over the seam. The seam tape. But it's not just that. You have got in this cap 1 panel, 2 panel, 3 panel, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you've got the peak. Then you've got the taping.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes
There's
into them.
a lot of work gone into that, but actually it suddenly starts to go, there's value.
I mean, the fundamental principle of all the hats is they're robust, they'll last the test of time, and they can kind of, well, the club cap's kind of the perfect example, the one you've got in your hand. It's like our go anywhere, do anything cap, so we want that to sort of accompany people on literally anything you want to do. You want to race in it, you can do it. You want to take the dogs for a walk, you can do it, you know?
there's also
Even that stitched through the flipping label.
There's also a colourway for everyone. You know, you don't have to wear a neon pink cap, but it's there if you want.
Another
it.
panel.
One of our biggest sellers every year is the Storm Black.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Pure
amazing.
black hat.
We've become so
heat.
well known for all the colours, but the black ones always go best.
That's bizarre.
And the short peak design, we've always had a short peak because based in the Lake District, high winds, steep fells, so you can see where you're going. But the idea is it doesn't come off in high winds. And that was a problem I found wearing longer peaks. I'd be up in the lakes and it would just fly off my head.
Yeah, and I noticed that also every single product that you have, there is some sort of adjustment, whether it's the clip at the back of the hat or as in, do we call it a bucket hat still? As in the bucket hat, we've got the toggle at the back to pull in a little bit tighter. I do sometimes wish that we had the under your chin for those really windy days. And also
with it, Stuart, leave it with us.
maybe it's an old man thing, innit?
Yeah.
You just look daft, but you get to an age where
We're
I
old
reckon
men
you
at heart,
just
don't we?
get away with it.
Yeah, we're old
it's
men at heart.
absolutely
I'm almost
fine.
there, Stuart, yeah.
And you know, you again close up until you actually get it, you don't realise how open that mesh is, and that it's there to do a job. Why? Yeah, we know it's going to reflect, but also that's going to allow a lot of breathability in your own natural heat, hopefully, to escape.
Oh, for sure.
And it's, you know, you look at the holes. Oh yeah, it's got venting. Yeah, but it's not as much as that. And if you look at these, okay, they're a little bit heavier. But again, it's not until you get up close you realise actually that's a really good open mesh.
Yeah.
And the more open that mesh is, the stronger it's got to be.
Our favourite bit, well, my favourite bit anyway, is on all the feather products, we've got the perforated peak.
Yep.
So that not only cuts down on weight, it gives it this nice sort of feel in the hand, so it's not too rigid. It kind of moves with your head a little bit,
And it's a bit
but
more
also
bendy.
it just ventilates. So wind comes in, doesn't obstruct any wind and breeze coming to your face, and sort of heat can get away from your face a little bit easier, and this region can. Yeah, fantastic.
So it actually just blows through as opposed to blowing and lifting.
Exactly.
How many people would have thought of that in a hat? You just wouldn't have done, would you?
Our design team are going to be very happy with
They're going to love this podcast.
Do you reckon that suits? You
I
know, or do
think
you
it
reckon you
suits.
stick with a white one?
Oh no, you look good,
You can
Stuart.
pull it off.
Yeah, you can pull it
Yeah,
off.
I can pull that off. Yeah. Do you know what? I haven't got a Vaga hat yet. I need to. Sorry, Vaga. Even I'm getting it wrong. I haven't got this brand of hat.
Well, you need one, Stuart.
So I've got to sort myself out, haven't I, really?
Take the tags off, it's yours.
Hey, we'd be matching.
We'd be matching.
We'd be hat buddies.
The podcast hat.
Oh, in that case, there you go.
There we go.
Look, done.
We've got
Sorted.
another convert to the brand.
Yeah, I've always been a convert because of the way you guys do things.
There you go. Good. I'm glad to hear it.
It's end of. So where are we going? Where's this brand gonna end up? What wondrous things? I tell you what I want. I want to see. I want an Accelerate logo one. That's what I want. That logo with all those colours on it.
Oh wow.
Collab. Never say no.
Never say no.
We can look over there, guys. Look at the colours we got. Amazing.
Leave it with us. We'll feed it back.
Where are we going? We're expanding. We're looking at buying a property so we can take on more staff. We are looking into other products, having a lot of things tested currently.
Sure, yeah.
So watch this space in those. Moving into some different accessories, aren't we? So.
Oh, hey, hang on. Different accessories.
Maybe.
Well, maybe. You just have to wait.
Watch this space.
What else? Well, what else can you do? I mean, I can think of roughs, buffs, whatever you want to call them. That you can, there's your Darth Vader thing going on.
Well, there you go.
Well, maybe moving slightly away from headwear, Stuart. There's other things that could be done.
Oh.
All rigorously tested and light strict, of course.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, this is kind of interesting and exciting. And when do we get to find out?
I'd say next year for sure.
Early next year, probably. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
So moving fast.
Watch this space, folks.
Watch this space. Yeah.
I think it's time. I think we've built a good kind of
base in the hat world.
Yeah.
Hopefully we've sort of shown people what we can do. Certainly in the hat space, and by no means is the hat space going to stop. We're going to look to continually innovate and kind of keep the hats going and see what we can do there and kind of push the envelope. New tech.
This is really exciting.
New
I tell you, I
designs.
wanted to say it all day. I had no idea that you were going to cap this, but it looks like you're going to.
We're not going to capsize though.
No. There was a point that just had to be slipped in, wasn't there? Come on, had to be done.
Put a cap on it.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, we're always looking to sort of innovate, see what we can do, see which other niche sort of markets we can look into, focus on, develop, improve. Kind of if we can show sort of other areas of the running. I don't want to say accessory because a hat is not an accessory. We're trying to very much show that in our designs, but other areas of the sort of.
If you think what a hat's
running
designed
kit.
to do, people just. It's there for a number of purposes at the end of the day, so it shouldn't be classed as an accessory.
Well,
it's actually there to protect.
For sure, yeah.
Okay. It is there also, hopefully, to make a little bit more comfortable, e.g. if you've got sweat running in your eyes. I like wearing a cap if I'm running with sunglasses because it stops the sunglasses just getting all manked up with, from a sweaty forehead. So actually, if you think about what a cap's doing, it's not just a smart accessory.
Exactly.
It's actually doing something else.
A cap can save your life in a
sure.
30 degree heat, 35.
Yeah. Just keep the body temperature down a little bit. Yeah.
Vice versa in the cold as well.
Yeah. Any
primary
plans for
user
wintry ones? A bit of fluff on the inside.
Oh well.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Winter catalogue coming soon, Stuart.
All right. We'll shut up.
Keep your eyes peeled for that. So
we'll shut up.
They will be exciting. Actually, I'm really excited for winter. We've got some really good sort of winter offering coming. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Wow, that's really cool.
Pushing the winter envelope as well. But yeah, I mean, the head is the most important part of the body, isn't it? If you can't keep your head in the game,
you're in trouble without it.
Exactly. And what happens in races? When you're running ultras and stuff, what's the first thing to go? It's maybe your body, yes.
Yeah.
But actually, it's the head that goes, isn't it? Because you can keep moving with your head. If you keep your head in the game, you keep your head stable, focused on what you want to achieve, we believe you can get there. So it's just about looking after it. And if that's protecting it from the sun, keeping it warm enough, keeping the sweat out of your eyes, stopping anything from sort of obstructing you from getting one foot in front of the other and getting to that finish line.
It's bonus.
And there we go.
It's helping, isn't it? Tell you what I will ask. Tell us about the fabrics though. Ooh.
Well, we've gone for as breathable as possible. We've got different fabrics across all of the hats.
Yeah, noticed that.
And we kind of tier our hats into sort of like, this is an all-round, this is the club cap. This was the original, wasn't it, John? This is the one you kind of started and
the club
built
cap
from the
is how
ground
we all
up.
started, and now we've got a more breathable feather, which is way lighter and more breathable, and you'll find that on the bucket hat as well.
Yeah.
We've gone for like the softest fabrics, but the most breathable fabrics possible. The club cap breathes really well, but it's not quite as lightweight as like the feather, which is this, for example. So you see the difference in sort of
you can see
see-throughness at the
it's
top.
much finer, isn't it? This
Yeah,
one?
for sure. We feel like this almost doubles up as like you can do literally anything in it, winter, summer, whatever, just because it's got that robust sort of material makeup. Whereas this is very much sort of your fast and light summer piece where you can run like your fastest times in, and kind of keep the coolest in this, because it's obviously we designed like the Perf Peak, as we said, most breathable materials. I think the sweatband in this one's the same as this actually, because it's kind of the underpinning of all the products at the end of the day is the sweatband, because if it doesn't sit nicely against your head, then it's going to really annoy you. But also this does such a good job at keeping the sweat out of your eyes. You kind of almost don't realise your head is sweating or whatever. So that's kind of a unanimous product across most of the designs we have.
And then we've got the waterproof fell cap as well, which was hugely popular in the winter. We're bringing back some more waterproof products.
With super colours again.
Yep.
Yeah. Bright red, bright orange, and
water.
And we've got our beanies, of course, the fleece beanies, an iconic roll-up kind of fell running beanie now, which is superb.
Well, I think that's going to cross. You look at the type of winters we're going to have. It's probably, with climate change, God forbid, we'll probably not necessarily have super cold. But if you're out in the rain, where we're currently sitting at anywhere between 2 and 6 degrees. Crikey, you need something on your head, and especially if it's raining or
I've got to
sleeting.
say about the fleece as well. Like, I have always struggled running in headwear that would make me too hot, and I thought winter especially, because it's so cold outside, isn't it? But I'd always overheat on the head. But the fleece beanie is just like, that's my favourite product. I think it's a few of our favourite products in a way, isn't it? 'Cause it's so simple. It's like a utilitarian product. Simple belt and braces.
We haven't got some here to show everybody.
I know, but winter coming back,
winter.
new colours, better colours.
It's our performance winter product.
Yeah.
Any kind of lengthy winter race up in the Lake District, you'll see loads of fleece beanies.
Oh, right throughout
great
winter.
to see.
Any race, any sort of trail event, littered with fleece beanies.
Great for hiking, great for climbing.
Yeah.
Open water swimming. It's a good product.
Well, we've had loads of people in, and there's a guy we know that, I don't know if he collects caps, but he's bought hundreds. He doesn't run, he just loves caps, and he just comes in and just gets caps.
Well, we've got a few lifestyle caps as well. So we've got one or two. I mean, this one I'm wearing is more of a
lifestyle
cap.
piece. But it's still the same construction as like the club cap in many ways, isn't it? Like, if you wanted to shove that in your backpack for a hike, for example,
that just folds to nothing, doesn't it?
It folds to nothing, and the peak is layers of foam, so it's just got its rigidity from layering rather than sort of structural. Like, it's not got plastic
cardboard.
There's not cardboard or plastic inserts. You can literally do that with it and bend it in half, and it's just going to pop right back to normal. You can straighten it out, and it's not going to lose any of its structural integrity or like the look that you've got with that. So, that goes for all of our products. You can kind of, if it's not packable, then what's the point of it? Because hats go on, off all the time, don't they? Get shoved in bags. So actually going back to your materials comment, like part of the materials is the packability, because look, the club cap can go down to that, and there we go.
Cool.
You can pop it straight back out, good to go, straight back on your head. There we go, good to go.
Nice.
There we go.
Right. Well, I think we've just about covered it all, haven't we?
Absolutely.
That's
I think so.
Kind of amazing. I've only got one more question.
Yeah.
You sure that's not better? Out of the two, which would you go for?
I like that.
That's the
I
bluebird.
quite like the blue.
That is the bluebird,
It's
yeah.
another popular cap.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of our iconic colourways. We've got 3 or 4 that we
Different
just keep.
version of the blue, isn't it?
Yeah.
They just mix it.
Well, we keep 3 or 4, don't we, that we run the whole time. So obviously every season the club cap changes. We've got different colourways to sort of keep it exciting, but we've always got like black, bluebird, utility green, and sundown. The pink.
Yeah.
It's like a combination of pinks and oranges, and we try and keep those as like our consistent colourways. They've been like the sort of the originals, haven't they? That the OG sort of fan favourites a little bit, and that is.
This is why the
certainly
design
one of them.
team are busy, because 4 seasons we change our whole range every season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Trying to keep it fresh, keep it exciting, keep people on their toes.
Right, that's amazing.
Cheers, Stuart.
Thanks very much
Thanks for
for
having
coming
us.
in.
Yeah, it's been brilliant.
And well, everybody, remember the name of the brand, which is
Vaga.
Vaga.
Thanks, guys. See you all soon.
Cheers.